Alright guys, welcome back to Space Engineers, and today we're going to be doing a few things, but first, I noticed in the back there's an unknown signal, so let's just quickly check that out. But after that, I'm going to go for a quick resource run, because after yesterday we are completely out of iron. As you can see up there, we didn't even get to finish off our landing pad. So, I'll do that stuff real quick, and then we'll be back. Alright, let's see what's in it. Alright, 33 steel plates and an enhanced hand drill. Not the greatest of loot, but I'll quickly grind this down, and then we can be on our way. Well, guess I probably should have been a little bit more careful. It looks like they just destroyed the cockpit. Oh, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. Alright, I'll be back when I finish this and finish repairing it. Alright guys, while I was offloading the ship and repairing the miner, I noticed it's unknown signal, so let's see if we get anything. Alright, we got a leopard helmet, and what's in the cargo container? Cargo container. Bring it down a little bit. Let's see, it's above, right? No, that's the parachute block. Where is my cargo container? I assume it's probably on the bottom. Yeah, it is. Alright. I'll grind down the battery then. Let's see what's in this. 25 interior plate. Alright, that's not a whole lot, but I'll grind this down, fix up the ship, and then I'll be back finally once it's all repaired and we are good to go to start doing more things. Until then, bye. Alright guys, so a little bit of time has passed since my little mishap, but now the miner's fully repaired. It's got all of its thrusters and cockpits and drills back. It wasn't as much damage as I thought, mainly because the drills had just been cut off by the connectors, which is a miracle, and landed on this, so it wasn't that bad to repair, but that's all fixed up, and we still have a lot of surplus resources. But now, I think what we're going to spend all these resources on is a full refinery. So if we look up refinery in our block menu, and we go here, and you look down at the components, it requires a lot of steel plate. So in preparation for this, while I was repairing, I queued up a lot of steel plate. Like 1,000-ish, yeah. And an important thing to make note of when you're placing these is their upgrade slots. Here, I'll go in a third person so that we can see it a little bit better. Is its upgrade slots. all those upgrade slots you want to have access to, because you can put some really powerful upgrades on them. So I'm just probably... I want to keep it fairly close to this, so... I'll probably put it... like... flip it like that. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we can just quickly weld this up. Well, not quickly because it's a large construction. But once we weld this up, we will be able to process more advanced ores, I guess you could say, like platinum, gold, and silver, so that we can get higher tier tools. This will also, again, similar to the basic assembler and the assembler, this will just do it a lot faster. I'm pretty sure it's even faster than our 2 basic refineries over there, which really ate through the, I think it was like 50,000 iron ore that I brought over. So we just gotta queue up more of those. Grab some metal grids, motors, large steel tubes, and construction components. Large steel tubes, we need more of those. Let's go a few more like that. That up a little bit more. Still more steel plate. As you can see, this thing definitely requires a lot of resources, and that's why having stuff like our miner over there is really helpful. Just a few more large steel tubes. Then we can build our refinery. But another thing that we might have to do is upgrade our power grid again, because this thing consumes a lot of power, especially if you put modules in it. So that might be a thing we do. And there it goes. I'm not going to weld it all the way up because that's a lot of steel plate. So if we now need to connect... oh, place it upside down. You know what? That's fine. No one cares. Alright, it doesn't really matter, but maybe try and place your refineries the correct way. What do we need? Interior plates. Interior plates, small steel tubes. I can't grab any motors, so I guess I'll just leave. Do I want to just leave them here? Here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna grind down the basic refineries and then just connect it all up, because there's not really a good reason to have the basic refineries around anymore. It's just kind of a waste of resource, so I'll grind those down and hook everything up with conveyors, and then I will be right back. Alright guys, I just finished connecting up all this stuff. I also moved and flipped around the refinery so that it's properly placed now. I moved the assembler to over here, but now if we access our refinery in this show connected, let's see, just search refinery. As you can see, we are now able to process our gold and silver, which will let us build more advanced components. Right now I'm trying to build some medical components so that we can build an actual medical room instead of having a survival kit forever, because this is kind of just a temporary solution. But if we search up medical room, we can swap that out. It's a decent structure. It's a decently sized structure. I think I'm gonna have to produce some more interior plates for this, like that. Alright, I'll grab my current interior plate though. As you can see, we have a lot of iron and nickel and kind of all this stuff because I had to move all that stuff from the assembler. So if we... how do I want to place this? Probably like this. Yeah. I'm just going to place it like that. And we can weld this up. Another good thing about having a medical room is that it recharges your energy a lot faster than this basic survival kit, so you have to waste less time, you know, doing nothing and holding down your interact key. construction components. A lot of those. 60 metal grids. Alright. Let me queue that up. 60 metal grids. There we go. Large steel tubes. I have somewhere. Large steel tubes. Small steel tubes. Displays. Displays. And small steel tubes. We might need 5 more displays. Display. No, we just need like, I'll just queue up 10. Yeah, those are pretty fast craft, so I'm gonna grab those. Shove the metal grids in. It turns out we actually need a lot of medical components. Yeah, like that many. Okay. Like that. We needed computers. And just the rest of the metal grids. So while we wait for the rest of our medical components to process up, I guess I'll try and explain what I want to do with the rest of this episode. So what I think we're going to do after our medical components are processed up is we're going to start putting upgrades on this just so it's a little bit faster. We might upgrade our energy. I don't know yet. It really depends. But I also think we're going to build a little bit of a drone so that I can show you guys how you can build a drone and how you can make it, fly around any way you really want it to. I like to make these little drones that I call spy drones. They can go all the way up to the atmosphere limit, and they can just kind of hover around, and you can just jump into them whenever you want to, and you can just control them. So let's see if our medical components are gone. Medical components, 12 of them. These are also very apparently heavy. As you can see, I can only carry 6, whereas I can carry thousands of steel plate. I know, it's very realistic. Yeah, but on the drone note, I think drones are pretty cool in this game, but they're a little bit finicky. Especially at the start, because it's. I'll show. I'll go more in depth once we actually start on it. But the main components of a drone that you need are an antenna on where you are, an antenna on them, a remote control, probably a camera so you can actually see where you're flying, stuff like that. All right. We can finish up our medical room, and as you can see, my energy is pretty much instantly filled. And you can also change your appearance here. I've got a decent amount of stuff, but it really doesn't matter. Alright, so now that we've got that done, I guess we can start on our upgrades. So module. So we mainly care about the speed and the yield modules. You want the speed generally on this one, so materials are down on the bottom right. It's mainly a lot of computers and steel plate, so I'm just gonna queue up like 300-400 steel plate and probably the same amount of computers. What about for the yield modules? If I remember, they're more expensive. Yeah, you need 20 superconductors. Let's see, superconductors. We need gold and iron. We have plenty of iron, but we only have a little bit of gold. I'm actually going to put the gold up to be refined. Alright, so we should maybe have enough to build a few yield modules. So I'll queue up, well, 100 is probably enough, right? Yeah, it should be enough. Alright, but let's start off by building the speed modules on our assemblers. grab the steel plate that's already in there. And this one only has 2 upgrade slots. You can't get any more, so it's okay. Oh, I mean, I guess you could place it like that. Here, let's rotate it like that. And I believe you can put another one on the bottom, but I don't really care about that right now. These should be fast enough. Let's access construction components. Are we out of construction components? Wow, we are. Okay, guess I gotta queue up a bunch of those too. Small steel tube. More steel plate. Small steel tube. Alright, we have steel plate. Right, yep. 300 steel plate. Okay, let's start the yield modules. Guess we can do it like that. Alright. There we go. Oh, wow, we don't even have enough steel plate for that. That's a lot of steel plate. Let's grab some more. Only a few more. Okay. I guess we're going to kill more steel plate. I think what I'm going to do here is I'll cut until the rest of the materials are processed. And then we can do a quick time lapse of me welding this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, I just finished up all the speed modules on the assembler. And if we look how fast how it's producing now, it's producing extremely quickly. It's almost instant. Yeah, you can see it's slowly ticking down. But we're now getting to the superconductors, and the superconductors they take a longer time to produce because they're more advanced components. But I will be back once we do all these yield modules. And then we'll probably have to go on another mining run because the stuff we've been doing today requires a lot of resources. But then we'll be able to see the yield modules in action because they essentially boost how much you get from one piece of ore. So whereas, you know, just normally you'd probably get like 1 to 1, 1 ingot to 1 piece of ore, with the yield modules you might get 1 to 4. So it's definitely worth it to put yield modules on. But I would like to mention that these all increase power usage. So now if we go to control panel, and we see in the, where is it? Refinery assembler. I know you're here. Assembler 3. Used upgrade slots, there's one more on the bottom, but as you can see down here, productivity, 400%. Max required input is 2.24 megawatts, which is a lot of power. Like if we go to our turbine, does it give us? No, it doesn't give us cumulative. Most of these can only produce 300-ish kilowatts, which is still a lot, but we might have to upgrade that. But as I said, I'll be back once all our components finish processing, and then probably do a quick time lapse of mining, and then we'll see this in action, and then we'll probably build a little bit of a drone. Alright guys, while we wait for the last of our gold to be processed so that we can finish off our yield modules, I think it's about time that we upgrade our tools again. We now have some silver, so that means we can get the next level of tools. So let's just do that. So proficient grinder, proficient hand drill, and proficient welder. You can also get these rifles if you really feel like it. I don't usually use them, but scroll these up like that, just to prioritize them over, you know, the superconductors. Speaking of which, we can pull out the current superconductors and maybe we can get a yield module up so that we use our gold more efficiently. Steel plate and construction components. Steel plate And are we out of construction components again? I queued up like 400 of them. Seriously. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna queue up a few more hundred then. Like 300 more. Alright. More steel plate 2. Let's just use the search function. Steel plate. No, we have no steel plates either. I'm just gonna drag that in front. We don't need any more superconductors, I believe. I think we have enough. Maxed. Yeah, we do. Alright, so that's all of our yield module superconductors finished. I'm just gonna grab all of that. We'll also have some extra superconductors left over, which is fine. We can use them for all kinds of things, especially in space where a lot of the more advanced blocks use a lot and a lot of superconductors. Alright, finishing up our last yield module. So now we have the most efficient possible refinery in terms of material per ore. So I think with that said, we can now start building our drone. I think we're gonna probably the start of next episode. Why is there? Okay, I'll fix that. But probably the start of next episode, we will upgrade our energy grid. And then probably start making preparations to go to space, because you've seen small grid ships. That's what our miner is. But I think we're gonna try and build a large grid ship so that we can have like refineries on it and such. So I think that'll be cool. Alright, so before we can start building our drone, we need a few things. First off, we need interior plates. There we go. Oh, and our new tools are done too. So we need interior plates because the main thing for our drone that you need is the remote control, which uses interior plate. You need a landing gear just to build the basics. You need a battery. You don't need a cockpit. You need an antenna. What do you need to build first? Antenna. You need to build a beacon. Okay. Beacon. We can just grind it down after that. Atmospheric thrusters. And I think that's about it. But with our new tools, we can weld, grind, and mine faster. Alright. So let's get this started. There is our landing gear. I'm just going to wall it up a little so that if we accidentally grind it, it isn't completely broken instantly. Alright. Let's do a battery. Then we can do something like a remote control. And you want to make sure it's faced like this, because whatever, like if you placed it like that, then it would think that the right side is actually the front side. You need to place it with the white part, like I guess you could say the curve indent, faced towards us. So now if we weld this up, we need construction components and computers. There we go. Yeah, you can see as long as the eye is facing towards the front, you will be good. Weld up that a little bit. I'm going to queue up some power cells. Alright, so now that we have a battery which can power it, we're going to need to put an antenna on it. So just throw a beacon really quickly. Small steel tubes and computers. There's going to be like 10 computers. Small steel tubes. Oh, there's the radio components. I hope one is enough. Not quite. Oh, we don't need to finish it. Okay. Antenna. Alright, now that we have an antenna, we can, I like rotating it forward. There we go. We're gonna need the rest of our, we're gonna have to do this one by one. That's really annoying. But it's fine, I guess. Alright. Now with our antenna done, like that, we have a battery, which we still need to weld up. So we can start. Now the main thing you want on this is probably just up thrust. I like to have one side to side thrust. So on each side. Come on, rotate please. There we go. Okay. That, and a front and back thrust. This thing doesn't need a whole lot of thrust because it's fairly small and compact, so this should be your own little spy drone. Then we also will need a camera. If you want the words camera to be on top, and you can even place it on your thruster. I don't know how safe it is, but the game lets you. I bet it's probably very safe. Alright, let's grab, we don't need that anymore. We don't need these old tools. Okay. Construction components and power cells. It's almost done. Now this will be a considerable investment into motors, but I think it's kind of worth it because you can see everything from space, which is a pretty cool view. Let's see, are we out of motors too? I swear, I queued up hundreds of them. There we go. 200 motors. I'm gonna grab the rest of the power cells. Rest of the power cells. You need more steel plate? Okay. Large steel tubes and metal grids and steel plates. Okay. Metal grids. More metal grids. Yeah, I think we're out of metal grids actually. So I'll queue up 10 of each. I know we have cobalt. So I can grab the motors and metal grids now. Side to side thrust is now done. I just gotta do front and back. And then the last thing you want to put on it is a gyro. Gyro. It doesn't really matter where you put it. Just a few construction components and computers. Computers. Alright. And then, essentially, your drone is now done. You can fly it around. You can do all that kind of stuff, but it's in a very small range to begin with. So if we go into, like, let me see. If we hit K and we go to accessible grids, remote access, as you can see, very close. Ownership correct, remote control ready, connection stable. You can hit control. And, look, very powerful. But you want to go into this remote control first, and I always set it as main remote control. And where is it? You can assign a camera to it. There we go. To camera, so that if we ever come back into it, it'll automatically set us to that. But as you can see, look, That's us. Alright. Now before you can... Ooh, we're still in the remote control. Okay. I'm gonna try and be careful and land this. It's very disorienting to do this. There we go. Okay. So before you can fly this into space, you're gonna need an antenna on your own platform as well, and they cost a decent amount of resources. So we'll just put it there. Mainly the radio communication components is what it costs. So if we go into here, it's just some silicon and iron, but they're really annoying to move because they are very heavy. So if we go in here, grab 8 of these. We need steel plate, large steel tubes, and small steel tubes. We're also going to need a lot more large steel tubes, so I'm also going to queue up around 100 small steel tubes too. And as you can see, we still have a decent amount of iron, but not really as much as I would super like to have. Let's do this. More large steel tubes. Wow, we're one short. Really? It's kind of annoying. There we go. Then we just need the radio communication components. There we go. Throw those in there. There's our 30 radio communications components. There's our energy being low. You can just run over to this, interact with it for like 2 seconds, and we're full again. That's why I really like the medical station, other than the fact that it's a better way to act as a respawn point. Inventory. Radio communications. Where is it? Wait. Excuse me? I queued up 40 of you. Okay. Anyway, now we have ourselves our own antenna, which will broadcast from to our base. So we go to antenna. We can. I usually set it up to around 8,500, and I change it to base. Base. Show ship name, enable broadcasting. That should all be good. Now we have an antenna showing our base. Then what you want to do is hit K, control panel, remote access, and then because that has an antenna, we can now control it. Control, and if we hit K, we can turn up this antenna if we want to. I usually turn up to 6,000 on this one because it doesn't have as much power. But now, if we unlock, we can fly straight up as high as we want to. I usually go up to around 4,000 meters because I think it's just kind of cool. But yeah, you can get like aerial shots. And you can also zoom in with your camera, like with its mouse wheel on computer. So like that. We're on 1,000 meters in the air, which is pretty high. There's our various holes. And there is our base. You can see our miner, our rover. But you can fly even higher in this thing. I usually put it at around 4,000 meters. It keeps it out of the way of anything. And you can also use this drone to scout around for economy stations, which I hope we can get into eventually. It really depends on if they decide to show up. But now we can fly up. And you can see the power in the bottom right. This thing doesn't have a whole lot of power, but it can last a pretty long time as long as it's just trying to hover in the air. Over there you can see the planet Alien, which has all of the uranium. Alright, I'm going to slow down. I don't want to go out of broadcasting range or else we can't control it, and it'll just be a hunk of metal flying in the air. I think that's Europa. Let's see. What other planets can we see? I think that's the... Is that Triton? Maybe. I'm looking for the moon. I don't see the moon though, which is interesting. Alright, there we go. Apparently we're falling. I don't like to fall. So let's just go back up. No, I'm kind of fine hovering here actually. Alright, there we go. Now we just have our little spy drone up there. It can, take shots of whatever you want. It's pretty cool overall. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We did a decent amount in this video. You saw me crash the mining ship. We did a little bit of mining. We upgraded our production by quite a lot. We set up that drone all the way up there. Yep, pretty far away. We got our medical room. Overall, I feel like we did decent progress today. But I think in next episode, we're finally going to be going to space. Or at least making pretty hefty preparations too. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and comment. It really helps the channel out, and because we are a small channel, it'll get the algorithm to recommend us to more people so that we can share more information. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great day, and bye.